Mark Twain apparently once said, "There are only two things to do in Denmark: drink and complain about the weather, sometimes both at the same time." So in that spirit, we're flying to Copenhagen today on SAS, the national carrier of Denmark, and Sweden, and Norway. As you guys probably know by now, I have somewhat of a fetish for weird flights, but this one, something about it was just off. Flying in Scandinavia is a little different than in other parts of the world. Even in something as trivial as boarding, the Nordic way of doing things stands out. See, in the rest of Europe, getting on a plane means aggressively pushing past everyone else and fighting for your space in the queue like it's the Hunger Games. But Scandinavians just wait, in silence, in perfect order, respecting each other's space like they're at their funeral. Except in this case, the deceased is the concept of social interaction. Well, I don't want to complain. As a hardcore introvert, Denmark seems like a paradise to me, and I hold my golden ticket as I board. Our ride today, a 5-year-old A320neo, is registered in Sweden and probably is called Johansson Peter Pettersson's Mellefish Gingerbeard III. And for everyone saying that's just too stereotypical, the actual name of the plane is Helsing Viking. I just looked it up. So I sit down, buckle up, and as I'm getting comfortable, we push back from the gate ahead of schedule, of course. The legroom is about 78 centimeters, which is average. But of course, flying in Europe isn't exactly what it used to be. When budget airlines changed the game, even SAS had to adapt. So over the past decade, they've been cutting costs, selling assets, and becoming a minimalist airline. No more free luggage, no included meals, no extra perks. Today, SAS is simpler, leaner, and overall just very Scandinavian. As we're about to take off, I get this weird feeling I can't really explain. Something about this flight just feels off. But I suspect nothing wrong and put on some music as the engines roar up and we blast out of London Heathrow, climbing over a glowing sea of lights. So I finally figure out what that weird feeling is. It's just quiet, like really quiet. The plane's almost full and normally you'd hear people talking, whispering, maybe some bags rustling, but here even the babies seem to respect the silence. The only sound is some occasional in the background. As a side note, Danish might be the weirdest language I've ever heard, and I speak Swiss German, so yeah. Everyone around me is just sitting there in their Patagonia jackets, probably thinking of oat milk. Very Scandinavian vibe. The teenagers give off private school energy and the other passengers look like they do yoga and bake cookies at their lake house. It's a level of vibe and chill I strive to achieve one day, but for now I can't help but feel incredibly underdressed and undereducated. I feel like I accidentally got lost on the way to my Ryanair flight and ended up here. So I just sit there, trying to open my Pepsi without spilling it everywhere. By the way, drinks aren't included on SAS, only tea and coffee are free, that's it. There's also no food, but to be fair, I don't know if Nordic food is even a thing. And the only Scandinavian restaurant I know is IKEA. Yeah. The flight attendants selling their drinks seem a bit low on energy, but they are not rude or anything. There's also a first officer handing out drinks. For a second I wonder if there's even a pilot left in the cockpit or if they've just got nothing better to do. No, obviously there is, but in some airlines, if a pilot isn't flying that leg or the crew's short, they help out in the cabin. A flight attendant explained that to me once, makes sense. Still, this flight is actually super interesting. Not for anything big, just if you really pay attention, there's so much Scandinavian weirdness to appreciate. The flight attendants are not even trying to sell you lottery tickets, booze or cigarettes. What kind of airline is that? And yeah, those engines of the A320neo definitely help to make the atmosphere even more creepy. They're up to 50% more quiet than other jet engines, and they're also way more sustainable. Honestly though, I like it. SAS feels super structured, super chill. Would I fly with them again? Maybe if the beer wasn't $6.50. I did feel a bit out of place though. Next time I'll probably go back to flying some 34-year-old junk plane registered in Bulgaria and now flying exclusively to Kosovo. If you want to see that trip report with probably the shadiest airline in Europe, click here. Thank you so much for watching and see you next week.